Yeah, guys, so when it comes to speakers, for the most part, it's become more so, honestly, what is it that makes them stand out or makes them different from each other? So the sound quality is definitely one aspect, and most likely the most important aspect when it comes to speakers, but that isn't the only aspect when analyzing speakers. And at this point, honestly, are speakers even worth getting? This is the TRIBIT STORMBOX Flow. It's a standalone speaker by TRIBIT. Now, this speaker is a 4800 milliamp speaker. Its battery life is about 30 hours, but unfortunately, that's only if you're using it at 60% volume and with the X-Base off, which is something to keep in mind. Speaker is also IP67 water resistant, and honestly that's more so for the beach parties, or if you're having a pool party or anything, just in case of an accidental spill, then the speaker is going to be still fine working even after the fact. As for the design, it has a rubber coating all around the speaker except for the front grille, and this more so is just for the shock absorbance, just in case of any accidental drops. Then in that case there'll be at least minimal damage down to the speaker. And to the far right, there's going to be a string, and to be honest, this speaker isn't really that heavy. It's just about 1.5 pounds, or just roughly under that. Or if you're someone that just wants to hang it up somewhere, in general. So the speaker in terms of weight is not going to be anything, honestly, that's going to be bothersome. If you pay attention to detail, one of the things about the speaker too, it is prone to fingerprints. If your fingers are just a little damp, or maybe just sweaty. But something else I like about the speaker is also the fact that it can either be played vertically or horizontally. And what I mean by that is, if you really just want the audio more so to be faced towards you and projecting audio that way, then you can just stand it up on its side. And if you want the audio to be at least more dispersed, 360-degree type manner, then you can lay it flat and the audio is going to be at least more dispersed in the entire room. Other than that, there isn't too much about the speaker. It has the front grille, the logo at the front, and then it also has the function keys at the top, which I'll get to in a little bit. Other than that, the only other port that it has is a USB-C port, which you could use this as for charging external devices like cell phones. And unfortunately, it does not have an aux port, which this one is going to be either hit or miss for depending on the type of audio file that you may be. And as I mentioned already, this speaker can be used to charge external devices. So basically, you can also consider this as a portable power bank for whatever, honestly, you may need to charge, just as long as the speaker also has enough battery to charge your external device. So when it comes to also just the accessibility and using the speaker, the buttons are somewhat silent press, but not completely, so you still hear on the buttons when you press them. And as for using the speaker, double pressing the power button will immediately put you into pairing mode. At the top, obviously, you're going to have your volume markers, and then the circle button that's going to be used for pausing, rewind, and skipping. And then right to the right of those function keys, there's going to be the equalizer button. And for the modes that it has 3 different modes. There's the X-Base, there's the audiobook version, and there's the default. And the one that stands out immediately compared to the others is definitely the X-Base. It sounds noticeably different than all 3 others. And then you have the audiobook, which is this one, more so it just sounds muffled as compared to the others. Then you'll have the default one, which this one will just try and save as much battery life as possible and just keep the audio as straightforward as it can get. The last button on the right there is going to be the TWS, the True Wireless Stereo button, and this button is also if you have another speaker of the same kind, then you can just pair them together and use them as stereo speakers. And although the speaker it does have the 3 equalizer modes, if you get the app, then you can also even just play with the equalizer how you want, with the different pitches, and just go about changing the audio to honestly how you want the audio to sound, which in this way, at least, it's much better than just having the 3 preset audio equalizer level. Everybody has different tastes, so it just makes sense to at least be able to adjust the audio to whatever settings that you want. If you want it a little louder for your gatherings, or if you just want the audio a little dimmer. And honestly, as how the speaker performs, it's just a whole different world. Listening to the Chargers lose again on loudspeaker.
First down from the 20-yard line. O'Connell to the end zone. Touchdown.
but the audio sounds pretty decent, and I got a chance to test it out when it comes to how it sounds with sports, just ordinary YouTube video, and even just listening to some audio that is not necessarily intended for large gatherings, and the speaker does perform really well. The one thing that stood out to me definitely is the bass, and that's either with the X bass on. Even when the X bass was off, the bass is definitely the winning factor when it comes to the speaker, and just honestly how it performs. For me, honestly, any speaker is an upgrade from me. I generally don't even use speakers. Either I'm using the audio straight from my computer, or I'm using earphones or headphones. So listening to the audio from speaker, it's a different perspective. It allows me to hear an audio in ways and different capacities that I normally wouldn't, and it just gives me a different feel of how audio is supposed to sound when it comes from a speaker and headphones, and just as compared to my computer. And there is a definite upgrade as using a speaker and then using it just straight from your MacBook or whatever computer that you may be using. In my opinion, coming from someone who generally doesn't use speakers, I think this speaker is one to look out for if you're someone who's in the market for speakers. But then again, let me know what you think. That's just my opinion. JEDIJA, I'm out.